Good morning, third graders. I am here to once again walk you through week 4, day 2 of your distance learning packets. The reason I'm doing these short videos is so that as you work through them, you may see things that we reviewed back in early February or even early March, and it might be kind of confusing. So I just want to make sure that as you work through them, you are able to understand exactly what I am asking you to do. And if you still have questions after that, you may then use the office hours we have available on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So let's get started. So here is day 2 of week 4 in your packets. And you can see this is coming from lesson 2 of module 5. Your fluency that you will be asked to work on is to complete the multiplication facts and answer the question below. I would like for you to really be practicing your multiplication facts. One of the most important skills of all third grade is to memorize your multiplication and division facts. If you have not noticed or seen the challenges that I have posted on Class Dojo, you may go ahead and ask your parent to help you get on there. And you can go ahead and see that you are able to record a video of yourself reciting your facts to me and then send them to me. I want to make sure that you are confident in what you guys know, and that if I were to ask you to do it in 5 seconds, you could give me the answer without drawing a picture. So keep practicing. It's going to then ask you this question right here in the box, and it's going to ask you to compare products in the first column to products in the second column. What do you notice? Now, the first thing is you're going to have to know what the word products mean. And products is the answer to a multiplication question. So a product, the product of 2 times 4 is 8. So it's going to ask you to compare the answers in the first column to the answers or the products in the second column. And I would really like for you all to have a good explanation of what you notice. Now, the new learning is actually not so new for our group of students. We did this exact lesson together as a class, but it is a good review to learn about our fractions. It says the picture below shows how a strip is folded into equal parts. I can see that all the parts in this strip on the left are the same size. The strip on the right has some small parts and some big parts. So we can see that this object or this strip of paper on the right are not equal parts. That is why it's so important to make sure we're splitting things up into equal parts. Some example fraction strips that they are showing you at the bottom of this page is 1/3, and notice how the 1/3 is shaded. That's 1 out of 3 equal parts, 1/3. 1/4 shows us 1 part shaded out of 4 equal parts. And then 1/7 shows us 1 out of 7 total equal parts. Now, something that I continue to see many of us get confused with, let's take 1/4 as an example. Some of us are saying, okay, there's 1 shaded, that's 1, that goes on the top, that's the numerator. But then you don't count that 1 again, and you only count the non-shaded parts. So then you would say, okay, then there's 1, 2, 3 left over, so that means it's 1/3. And I'm going to tell you, for something like this, that's wrong. You really want to make sure that when you say something is 1/4, you're counting all the equal parts. So there's 1 shaded out of 4 total parts. So as we go through our problems, you are going to be able to apply this knowledge on your own. The example problem, it says that Dylan plans to eat 1/4 of his candy bar, and we love candy bar examples. His 3 friends want him to share the rest equally. Show how Dylan and his friends can each get an equal share of the candy bar. There is Dylan plus 3 friends. There are 4 total people. I know that 4 people are sharing the candy bar. I'll draw a fraction strip to represent the candy bar and split it into fourths. I can label Dylan's piece and the pieces that his friends will eat. That is an example for you to think about and work through. Now you get to try it on your own. Number 1 is going to ask you to circle the strips that are folded to make equal parts. Really look at your pictures. There are 2 pictures out of the 4 that show equal parts, and there are 2 that do not show equal parts. Number 2 says, Juanita cut her string cheese into equal pieces as shown in the rectangles below. In the blanks below, name the fraction of the string cheese represented by the shaded part. You may write it as a fraction with the line, or you may write out the word. The first picture shows you 1 part shaded out of 3. We would call that 1/3. Then you move on to your day. You're still in day 2, and now you're on the problem set. The problem set is going to ask you several questions. It's not very long. You guys can do it. And number 1 asks you to circle the model that correctly shows 1/3. Now, which one shows us 1/3? Now, they all show us 3 pieces, or each part is cut into 3 pieces. But only one of it shows us equal pieces. You need to circle that one. Number 2 shows us a larger rectangle. There are a lot of pieces. And now I'm going to ask you, there are how many equal parts in all? You must count all of the boxes. But then how many are shaded? So then write down, I want to challenge you guys to write down that fraction. If we know the total amount of pieces, and then we know what part is shaded, what would our fraction be of the shaded parts? Write that down beside number 2. And then the last question for day 2 says, Michael bakes a piece of garlic bread for dinner. He shares it equally with his 3 sisters. Show how Michael and his sisters can each get an equal share of the garlic bread. What I recommend you doing is referring back to our example problem in the page prior. You are going to want to draw a rectangle and break it apart equally. Now you have to think, how many total people are there? There is Michael and his 3 sisters. So there is a total of 4 people. So in your rectangle, how many equal pieces are there going to be? You guys got this. This is a review. You are so smart, and I'm so proud of you. Continue working on your multiplication and your division facts. And I can't wait to hear from you all soon.